It's thinking about it. All right, we're live. Google this and Google that, but is that really where it's all at? Thank you and welcome to our live stream, folks. My name is Kandice Taylor and I am the Community Relations Coordinator here at BizIQ. And if you are tuning in live, I want you to drop live in the comment section. And if you are tuning in on a replay, I want you to drop a replay in the comment section below. This tells the algorithms that, hey, you want to see some more awesome content and we want to give it to you. So thank you for that. But today's topic is all about GMB listings and how to get it to work for you. And when I was first hired here at BizIQ, I was actually hired as a Google local specialist. So I do know a thing or two here. But to give me some backup, I have a current Google local specialist with me, Mr. Matthew Nash. So, Matt, you are not new to our broadcast here, but can you give our viewers who are tuning in a little, hey, how are you? And tell them about what you do here at BizIQ?
Sure thing. So I work in quality assurance and fulfillment on our Google local team. And so that has to do with setting up listings for our new clients, making sure their information's up to date. And also, if there's issues down the road, sometimes I help out with resolving those as well.
Okay, which makes you an expert in today's topic because we want to talk about everything Google and how to optimize those listings so that they work for you. But I was doing some research prior to this, and it turns out if your listing is optimized for success, you can get about 59 actions from their Google listing every single month. And 5% of the views that you do get end up turning into actions. Now, actions are usually somebody who is requesting directions from you, or maybe they placed a phone call, they looked at your photos, they looked at your reviews, all of those things add up. But Matt, what are some changes that you would recommend for business owners if they want to optimize their Google listing correctly so that they can get those actions and those leads coming in?
Right. So one of the more common things that I often have to change on existing listings that we claim is editing a business's information to be consistent with how it appears in the real world, like on their signage or branding in front of their store, or how it might be visible on Street View.
Yes, because a lot of businesses, sometimes they go by, I don't know, Shelly's Nails, but the full name is Shelly's Nails and Hair Incorporated. And those small little changes do matter online. But let's talk about some frequently asked GMB questions. First, who is eligible for a Google My Business listing?
Right. So any business that has some form of face-to-face interaction with customers, whether that's in a storefront or, say, doing deliveries or at customer locations. This can also include seasonal businesses that do have permanent signage, ATMs, video rental kiosks, express mail drop boxes, and virtual kitchens. Google does state, however, that rental or for sale properties, lead generation companies or agents, and services, classes, or meetings that take place at another business's building or location are not eligible for a listing.
Yes, and we will dive into virtual offices and the like a little bit later here in the live. But if business owners haven't gone and updated their information personally, do you think that there is already a listing there, or is it just a blank slate?
It's not guaranteed either way, but Google does often create unverified listings using their web crawling tools or from suggested information from community members that are on maps. These listings often do, though, have incorrect information, and they definitely rank lower than listings that have been verified with stuff that's up to date.
Right. Now, next, I do want to talk about one of the things that I heard a lot when I worked in that department was about the Google calls and the robocalls and the scam calls, because last year, Americans lost over, let me just check my numbers here, $29.8 billion to phone scams. And 1 out of every 3 Americans say that they have been a victim of a phone scam. But Matt, when you have customers that are calling in and talking to you about how this robo keeps calling them and they can't get them to stop, what are some of the things that you ask them to do, or what advice do you have?
Right. So we have an article on this on our company's website, but I can run through some solutions really quick. First would be filing a complaint to the FTC with the phone number in question, they'll take this information and they'll pursue that. Other solutions could be to research call blocking apps, adding your business's number to the National Do Not Call Registry, or even reporting this activity to Google. They do collect this sort of fraudulent stuff and try and process it themselves as well.
Yes. And like Matt said, if you are one of the clients out there or the small business owners out there who are plagued with Google calls, I want you to comment Google call below, because we do have an awesome checklist that just runs you through some things that you can do to make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can to stop these calls. But Matt, let's talk a little bit more about Google. Do they even call small businesses? Is that something that business owners should be expecting?
Not all the time, but occasionally they will call business owners. This is most often when business owners have requested it, though. So, like during the verification process of their GMB listing. Business owners can also, though, expect to occasionally receive automated calls regarding user-related services like appointment reminders or confirming their business hours. A Google operator sometimes might call for customer support and service, or maybe advertising development, or even regarding a business owner's account on another one of Google's platforms. The most important thing to remember, though, is that Google's calls will always start with, I'm sorry.
No.
They'll always come from a phone number that starts with 650-203, and then the rest of the numbers may change. But that will let you know for sure if it's Google calling you or not.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that clarification. Now, is there anything else that you really are keeping in mind when you're looking at these listings and doing your quality assurance checks?
Yeah, so it is always important to make sure that name, address, phone, and hours are up to date and as current as they can be. Google also does have a special hours field. So if you're going to be closed on one day, something comes up, you can always add that there, and customers will be able to see that on maps or however they're looking at your listing. Yeah.
Love it, and great point. Now, one thing that was always a huge sticking point or conversation point when I was in the Google local services department, I got to stop saying that. But anyways, when customers are often searching by categories, and I know that that is a big part of Google My Business. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. So a lot of the time people are searching for a certain type of store or service near them, or, in a certain area if they're going to be traveling or have some, an interest in that area. If you have an incorrect address or something like that, they may get confused and take their business elsewhere. So you don't want your competitors to be converting when you can.
Yes. Now, another point is small businesses, typically 50% of them start off in their homes. So when we're talking about business owners and who's eligible for a Google My Business listing, what if a business did fit in that category? However, they are a home-based business. Should they be using their home address, or what can you tell us about the policies and procedures around that?
Right. So Google doesn't discourage business owners from using their home address, but there are some policy restrictions that may prevent them from being eligible for a storefront listing with a physical address and PIN shown on the listing. And so to be a storefront business on Google Maps, you do need permanent signage displayed if they're not in a building clearly intended for commercial use. This requirement can be taken care of if it's visible from Street View, or it can also be uploaded as a photo to the listing itself.
Yes, highly recommend putting your signage as a photo on your Google My Business listing. Just makes it easier for people when they are trying to find you, so that they don't, like Matt said, just go off to your competitors. But I did tease about our next topic a little bit in the beginning. We were talking about PO boxes and virtual offices, virtual business addresses. What does Google think about those?
So for PO boxes, virtual offices, you aren't supposed to use those on maps. At least you can't have a storefront listing. You may be able to operate with the service area, but again, you won't be able to have your address displayed or a PIN location for customers to go to on maps.
Mm-hmm. Now, if there is one thing that I want our viewers to take away today from this stream right now, it is our next tip. And I want to talk to you guys about a business and their reviews. Now, 90% of people read reviews before they ever purchase a product. And think about it. When was the last time that you went to a location, or maybe you went to a new restaurant and you didn't look at the reviews? Matt, do you have any insight on reviews and what they should do about them?
Right. So I did mention this in our last live stream, so I'll just retouch on this. 86% of consumers said that they would be more likely to shop at a store that replies to reviews. So if, 90% of people are reading reviews before they make a purchase, you'll definitely convert more if you're replying to these reviews as they come in, and more business will be coming in your door.
True. Next point I want to talk about is our high quality images. Sometimes it can be tough to know what constitute as a high quality image, especially if you're just used to snapping images on your phone. But when clients are adding pictures to a listing, what are the things that you're looking for?
Right. So Google has a policy requiring images to be at least 500 by 500 pixels. So, if you can check that out on the file information, or if you're using an app to resize your photos, that can let you know how big the photo is. It's also important to make sure any images that are used are centered, clear, and not pixelated or blurry, so that people looking at your listing can very clearly see what, details of your business the photo might have to do with.
And if you are one of the people who do struggle with taking good pictures, or you just need a little bit more support in that area, I want you to comment pictures down below, because guess what, guys? We have another checklist for you, all for you, straight from the experts, giving you tips and tricks on how to master and take the perfect pictures. This guide includes some tips on what you should take photos of, where you should be taking your business photos, and some essential editing tips. So it's a great deal, guys. Comment pictures down below. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, that could definitely be a big help to a lot of people looking for this sort of information. Also, though, Google does have photographers that they work with, that business owners can get in contact with to get high quality photos uploaded to their listings, whether in store or out front. And they have articles of their own on how to get started with that process.
Okay, yes. I would just recommend that to every single business owner. You have to have some professionally done pictures of your business, especially of you with your business, because oftentimes the business owner is on one side of the lens. And so the people who are engaging in your business and looking at your business don't get a picture of who the person is behind the service. But one thing that we want to talk about is local listing management as well. Local listing management is making sure that your business information is accurate across all of them. So an example would be a Google My Business listing. Yelps have listings, Bing has listing, Apple Maps has listings, Facebook has listings. But Matt, do you have any tips or tricks on what viewers should be on top of when it comes to listing management?
Right. So probably the most important thing is making sure that the information for the business is across all these different sites and listings is consistent. Mm-hmm. And that can be a challenge, but you want to make sure your customers will be, going to the same place every time, regardless of where they're coming from on the web. So Google also considers consistency between this information when they're ranking you for SEO if you have a website. Fortunately for our clients, we do have packages that can address, just all the number of these listing sites that factor into your reputation on Google and other platforms. And, to make sure that you're being represented as well as you can in front of as many customers as you can be.
And I don't mean to brag, but we also have solutions for listing management. And if you are interested, type listing management down in the comments below. Hey, I'm just feeling like Santa today, guys. I'm just giving things out left and right. And I want to make sure that you, whoever's tuning in right now, are actually getting the support and guidance that you need to be successful online. Because that's why we're here, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
Cool. we're going to skip to the last part of our show where our viewers get one final Matt Nash pro tip. Are you ready, Matt?
Yes.
Okay, hit it with us.
All right. So, aside from doing business with us, because we have all these great packages, I would also, again, like to revisit the last live stream and remind our viewers that responding to a range of reviews from 1 through 5 stars, so at the 2-star range, 3 and 4 as well, that will make you stand out from your competition. And potential customers will really see that you're invested in all your customers, not just, covering up the 1 stars and really highlighting the 5 stars.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Now, it's my favorite part of the show, guys, where I turn the microphone back to you and I ask you if you had any questions about something that me and Matt talked about today. So if you thought, that's interesting, or I would like to know a little bit more about that, please drop it in the comment section below and me and Matt will be happy to clarify. However, Matt, you, my friend, have entered in the hot seat.
Once again.
Yeah. How's it feel?
It's hot.
It's hot? All right. We're going to be playing this or that speed round. So I'm going to go as fast as possible. Are you ready?
As I'm going to be.
Okay. Tacos or wings?
Tacos.
Shopping in store or online?
In store.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation. Got to travel. Well, you don't have to, but it's nice.
Right. And long hair or short hair?
I guess this is short hair. I mean, it's kind of, a little bit of both, but
yeah, it's a little long.
Easy to manage as well.
Okay. And scary movies or funny movies?
I mean, I would say funny. I'd rather be, happy, uplifted for that 2 hours as opposed to on the edge of my seat, a little bit stressed out. But
so
either works.
We are going to have a horror movie competition in the next 6 weeks. Is that up your alley or no?
Maybe. I really couldn't tell you unless I saw the details, I guess.
Okay. Well, just take a peek in weekly wins. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything more than that. All right, guys. Well, thank you, everybody who is tuning in today. I thank you for being here, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye.